Welcome to Introduction to Java Programming for Beginners, Part 8, HashMaps. If you're coming from Python like many of my students, HashMap is what we refer to as a dictionary in Python. You may also hear this referred to as an associative array. So thinking back to our last lesson where we had an array. An array was an organized and ordered set of data and had an index. So if I wanted the third item in the array, I would have to refer to it by its index, which in that case is 2 because they start at 0. If you're not sure what that means, go back and watch lesson 7. So in this case, what we're going to be doing is using something called a hash map. So before I can use this, I need to actually import that. So I'm going to import java.util.hashmap. Now note the capitalization. Okay. So basically I'm just importing this hash map class so that I can use it. And what a hash map lets you do is store information in what's known as a key value pair. I'm going to show you a couple examples here. So in our case for this demonstration, we're going to associate two strings together. In our case, it's going to be countries and their capitals. So I'm going to declare my hash map. Note I'm using a little less than symbol, and it's going to be a string and a string, because as I mentioned, we're going to be countries and capitals. I'm going to give it a name called capitals and equals new. And this is standard Java formulation. So hash map, and again, same thing, string, comma, string, and a semicolon. Okay, and I missed the parentheses. Don't forget the parentheses. I always forget that, as you just noticed. Okay, so I have created the hash map. It's called capitals. And again, this is underlined because we haven't actually referenced it later. So you can see where it says the value of local variable capitals is not used. We're going to use it in a second. Now I'm going to make two more strings, or two strings. We'll call one country. And I'm going to call this one capital. See, I added strings there because I said it and was typing at the same time. Now watch what I do. If I want to put a value into this hash map, I use the name of the hash map. I use the put method, Japan, in this case, Tokyo, semicolon. So what I'm saying, inside of capitals, I'm telling it that Japan, which is a string, is associated with the value Tokyo. So this is the key, this is the value. It is also a string. So you have to be consistent with your data types in Java. So capitals dot put, and we're going to do China. And the capital, of course, China is, of course, Beijing. And then we're going to do capitals dot put. I live in Asia, so that's why I'm sticking with these countries. South Korea, and the capital of South Korea is, of course, Seoul. Okay. So now this is the information that is stored in our hash map. So if I want to get the information out of it, this is how I would do it. So I'm going to say capital equals capitals dot get Japan. Okay, so remember, up here, I've declared capital as a string. So I'm going to get out of capitals the value associated with Japan, so which is Tokyo. So this is a string. So we got string, string, and I'm saying capital is also a string. So Java, you got to be very, very careful with what you do. So I'm going to print that out. I'm going to say Japan, colon, plus capital. Okay, so let's run that and see what happens. Okay, very, very exciting. So we've got Japan out of there, Japan and Tokyo. So again, we've created the hash map. We said it's a string associated with a string, and we've called it capitals. And we'll get back to these in a second. We've put the key value pair Japan, Tokyo, China, Beijing, South Korea, and Seoul into our hash map. And then we're going to say we're going to pull that information out. So we're going to say capitals.get Japan, and we're going to assign that into capital. Okay. So we can do the same thing here. So I can say country equals South Korea. Okay. And then what I can do is I can say capital equals capitals.get country. And then this makes it a lot easier. I can just do like this. Country plus quote, colon space, plus capital. So what I'm saying here is I'm going to look for the country South Korea. I'm going to get South Korea out of capitals. I'm going to get the value associated with that key, assign it to capital, and then I'm going to print the two out. Oops, capital equals capital. Capitals main class. Spell capitals wrong. Okay, there you go. Very common mistake. Let's run that again. Okay, so now we've got South Korea and Seoul. The last thing I want to do here is use the for each method that we saw in previous video to get all of the keys and values, in this case countries and capitals, out of it. So I'm going to do for string. Let's try it like this first. Capitals dot key. Actually, it should be country, sorry. Because I'm getting the keys out. So country, capitals dot key set. Okay, that will get you all of your keys out as a set. Don't worry about what that means for now. And then I'm going to try capital equals capitals dot get key. And again, I got to make sure I spell everything correctly. And then I'm going to print it out. So system out, print line, capital, plus, quote, colon, space, quote, plus, capital. So you really got to be good at typing to do Java. Now notice this is underlined. Okay, it says insert identifier to complete enhanced for statement header in it. Okay, so I'm going to run that and just show you there's going to be an error. It's already told us there is one. And what you need to do here is you need to tell it that this is a string. Now we're going to get another error, so let's watch that. Okay, so you're going to see here, for string country, cannot find error. Well, we got capitals, so this should be country. Okay, I made a little mistake there. And this should be country. Let's run that again. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it says variable country is already defined in method main. So because we already have country up here, we can't do that again down here. It's kind of weird, but that's the way it is. So I'm going to change this to key. And it's the country I'm going to use key because it's the key of this particular hash map, and run it. And hopefully we should see a nice little list here of our values. Okay, so we got South Korea, Seoul, Japan, Tokyo, China, Beijing. Okay. Now one thing to note is that they are not in the order that we put them in. We started with Japan, we started with China, then we added China, then we added South Korea. Notice they are in a different order. Okay, arrays are ordered, hash maps are not necessarily ordered. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, sorry about all the little mistakes here, but so just look at this code really carefully. So we're looking at the key coming from the key set of the capitals. We want to know the capital using the get method of the key. Then we print it out. Okay, so this is a for each type of loop. Okay, so hopefully that'll help get you started with hash maps. Stay tuned.